back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be Pokenet.
I'm the Dancing Bear at first base.
Today, we have all the information from, well, not all the information, but we have day 2 decks. Not their exact list, but we have the tally of all the day 2 decks from Oceania. And so we're just going to kind of grade ourselves on how well we did predicting the meta or forecast and just kind of give ourselves a grade. And we're going to be honest, going to be fair. So we went back and kind of reviewed everything that we said about the meta forecast for Oceania. And we said, far and away, what would be the most popular deck?
We said that Zekrom Pikachu was going to be the most popular.
Well, how do you think we did on that?
Pretty good.
To be exact, there were 12 in day 2. Now, I don't have all the numbers to see what was most popular, but they did say that there was 2 decks on the stream that were far and away the most popular, and we'll get into that later. I think Cora kept saying it and Puka kept saying it, what the 2 most popular decks were throughout the day as they would walk around and look. But as far as day 2 decks, 12 Zekrom Pikachu in day 2.
Yeah.
So I think that's an A plus right there. That's 100. That's 100 out of 100, right?
Yeah.
We said it was going to be the most popular. It was. There's the most in day 2. So I think we hit a moving target blindfolded from the hip. Don't you?
Yeah.
0 scope. No scope.
There you go. Not 0 scope.
Oh, no scope. No scope, the most popular deck there. Okay, so next most popular. And here's where we need to be fair. Because we said the second most popular deck would be Malamar, Ultra Malamar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said that it and the Zekrom deck were by far the 2 most popular as they would walk around and view the field, right? But day 2 there was 8. There was 8. Now here's where we need to be fair. There was 2 different Zapdos builds. There was the Zapdos Toolbox, and then the straight Zapdos Jirachi deck. Toolbox plays like Buzzwole, Nihilego, Rainbow Energies, stuff like that. So more Toolbox. This was more straight. 4 Zapdos, 4 Jirachi, Tapu Koko GX, like that.
Yeah.
And then with or without Jolteon line. So, do we separate these 2 or do we combine them? That's where we have to be fair. They play differently because this has so many techs.
I think separate.
And I think so too. Okay. So I don't want to get a bunch of haters in the comments. No, they need to be together. They play 2 separate decks. Mm-hmm. And then, well, you could make the argument about the Zoroark decks. Because some played Weavile, some played Ninetales, some played Lucario. You know, where does that stop? Where they become separate decks or whether it's the same, engine, same skeleton?
I think it depends on the type. If it's like Zork and Lycanroc, then if it has like a 1-1 Weavile tech, then I think that still considers as Zork.
I think so too, because the skeleton remains the same. 4-4 Zoroark, 2-2 or 3-2 Lycanroc. Mm-hmm. The core of the skeleton stays the same, but you can say the same thing here. This deck still runs 3-4 maybe Zapdos, and then 4 Jirachi. 3 to 4 Jirachi. Same engine as this.
Different tech attackers though. Same with like the Zorg variants.
Yeah, so where do we draw the line?
There's a difference between Zork, Lycanroc, and Zork Gliscod.
Are we counting techs? My feeling is this deck plays differently than this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because this tries to have answers for all the other decks. The Buzzwole at the right time to knock out Zekrom, or the Nihilego to knock out with Dangerous Rogue, stuff like that. This is more of a toolbox. Rather, this is streamlined.
Yeah.
So that's the part where we need to be fair. If we separate them, then there were 3 of the straight Zapdos, and then there were 6 toolbox. But if you combine them, that's 9, and they would be right here.
Yeah.
So we have to be fair. We have to be honest. I personally think that it's completely different. That these are more different than Zoroark with a 1-1 or 2-2 Weavile versus a 2-2 Lucario.
Yep.
I think the deck plays different in these more so than different tech. But obviously they play different. But you have to draw the line somewhere. So are you good with this?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there were 5 different Zoroark Lycanroc variants. There was 5. Okay. And then finally, there was 2 Party Balloons.
And 0 Jolteon.
Well, there was, it was kind of a Zapdos with Jolteon Tech, or Jolteon with Zekrom a little bit, stuff like that. There was no true 4 Eevee, 3 Jolteon deck.
Okay.
So, and that was my number 1 pick to do really well. That's what I would have played. But for whatever reason, folks didn't like the 4-3 Jolteon line.
I mean, I thought that it was super solid.
It is, and maybe they just didn't test it as much as us. And because a lot of these top players, they have these testing groups, and then once they get on a deck, then they just work to dial it in. They don't necessarily test everything, because most of the pro players don't have the luxury of, we've been testing this format since Thanksgiving.
Right.
Whereas most of them have been testing it for like 2 weeks. So you can only do so much testing in 2 weeks versus 2 months. So they're not going on the same information as we are. And so the information they have is Zekrom's really good, Ultra Malimar's really good, and then Zapdos variants and then Zoroark are really good. So I completely whiffed on the straight Jolteon Zapdos. So I got an F on that one.
Nice one.
But we got
A plus.
A plus, A plus. Then we said this was Rogue, and there was 3 in day 2. How many people played the straight Zapdos list? I don't know. We're just going off day 2, but by that being a 3, it should be in tier 2.
We had at Rogue.
Mm-hmm. We had it at Rogue, so we weren't too far off. You know, so I'd say we got a C on this one.
Yeah.
So we're at a A plus, A plus.
100, 100.
Okay, so let me write this.
I'll calculate.
So 100, 100, and then 70 here. You think we got a C?
Yep.
So 70 here. Okay. Now, we said Zoroark would be tier 2. I think that's pretty good. I think we hit that right on the nail right on the head, don't you, or no?
Yep. Give that another 100.
Now, Party Balloon. Here's where the problem with the Party Balloon. Zach Lesage, fantastic player. He's ride or die Party Balloon. And then there was one other. And so there was 2, so I think it's borderline tier 2, tier 3, or do you think it's still tier 2 because there was 2 that made day 2?
I'd give us, we didn't get lower than an 80.
So an 80?
No. I think maybe give
85?
us a 90.
90?
Yeah.
Okay, so a 90 on the party balloon. Okay,
What's left?
now Zapdos Toolbox.
We were pretty close when we said Buzzwole
Well,
Shrine, and I mean that runs Buzzwole.
That,
And stuff
here's the
in it.
thing, is in the second part of our video where we picked the plays, your number one pick was the Zapdos Buzzwole Toolbox deck.
Mm-hmm.
You said that is the play. And one made it into the top 8 there.
Yup.
So I think you, as far as naming the play, and there was 6 in day 2, I think you nailed it, right? 100?
Yeah.
Okay, so
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
now into the top 8, we had 3 Zekrums in top 8. There were 2 straight Zapdos. And then there was 1 Zapdos toolbox, and then 2 Zoroark.
And that adds up. That adds up to 700 and something.
Now,
And then divided by 7.
now wait. I also, in part 2 of the video, said Zoroark is super safe going into this.
Mm-hmm.
I said it's a really, really safe play.
We already gave it a 100.
That was for the tier 2, but I'm saying, I think my picks for the plays, remember because we had Jolteon, Venusaur, and Snorlax Malamar right here whenever we were trying to pick our play, and I said of those 3, like this. But then I said that Jolteon Zapdos would be my first pick. But then later, after we did all that, I said also I'm forgetting Zoroark is super safe.
True.
So, with that into account, so
My numbers added up to.
I think we really missed on the straight Zapdos. The numbers are skewed because some of the best players, I know Isaiah, Azul, and Altavilla all played this. 3 very, very good players. So I think, if you have 3 average players, then maybe they don't get day 2 with Zapdos, right?
Right.
So I think we whiffed on the straight Zapdos, but I think it's a little unfair because 3 of the top 16 in North America decided to play that deck. So,
True.
but adding it up, how do you think we did?
Yeah, like a 1.
80. We got 80%. 80%. Our whiffs were Zapdos and Poke Dad with Jolteon Zapdos.
In the state of Texas, you can retest.
Well, in all fairness, there were a lot of Zapdos decks that had the Jolteon line, or the Zekrom decks that had the Jolteon line. So
Yeah, that's true.
but I think we did good. I mean, of the important stuff, you're not going to nail everything, but the important stuff, the 2 most popular decks, 100, 100, and then the tier 2 decks, 100, 100.
And then my good medical.
And then the medical. It's just we totally whiffed at the Jolteon and then the Rogue Zapdos. So, that's where we're at. Now, moving forward, we are going to address Collinsville Meta Forcast. And this is all the information we have to go on. We have this, plus our own testing data, and North American players like different decks than the European players and the Oceania players, Australian players. So it's going to be a little difficult, but we're going to do our best, and that'll be our next video. So, okay, you good with this?
Yup.
Mr. 80, Mr. B. A's and B's.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And the Jolteon whiff killed us. If you take away the Jolteon, then we have like, take away the Jolteon whiff. So divide that number by 6 instead of 7. And I don't even think that was a full whiff.
93.3 repeating.
A 93. If you take away this miss on the Jolteon deck, we have a 93. So keep that in mind, folks. Till next time, be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.